Think about this. Many of our assumptions about billionaires are that they're monolithically conservative, and that increases in their political power will increase inequality. Although it's true that America's richest families are conservative, Vox Media studied tech entrepreneurs and found that, by and large, tech entrepreneurs specifically are liberals who voted for Hillary Clinton, identified as Democrats, and support same-sex marriage and higher taxes on the rich. Why is that? Why is it that certain personalities or certain demographics sometimes vote in a similar way? In this episode, I found a few studies that look at the brain function of conservatives versus liberals, which not only found differences, but found differences in behaviors as well. If you think these conversations are as fun as I do, hit those like and subscribe buttons. My name's Chris, and this is The Think Report. On social issues, tech entrepreneurs are very liberal, more so than Democratic voters as a whole. 96% of tech entrepreneurs support same-sex marriage. 79% view abortion as a matter of personal choice. 82% favor gun control, and 67% oppose the death penalty. Perhaps surprisingly, given their wealth, tech entrepreneurs strongly support taxation and redistribution. 82% say they support universal health care, even if it requires raising taxes. However, tech entrepreneurs support lower regulation, very similar to Republicans. This included opposition to regulating Uber-like taxis and regulating gig workers like employees. They find it too hard to fire workers, and that government regulation of businesses does more harm than good. It's almost like their experience with tough regulation has given them an awareness of the implications of it. The odd thing is that it's not like all entrepreneurs are like this. According to the Washington Post, Republicans are 24% more likely to be entrepreneurs in general. There are a few studies I will link to in the description that examine the relationship between political affiliation and the brain. The one I found the most interesting is titled Intrinsic Functional Connectivity of Blue and Red Brains. In this study, they illustrate the differences in gray matter result in conservatives being more sensitive to threatening or anxious situations in perpetual and cognitive levels, experiencing emotional responses and stress, while liberals are more responsive to but tolerant of ambiguous and uncertain information. Interestingly, conservatives have greater psychological well-being and are more satisfied with their lives than liberals, despite their psychological vulnerability to stress caused by the threats and the anxiety sensitivities. They found that conservatives, compared to liberals and moderates, had greater psychological resilience and self-regulation capacity that were attributable to greater impulse control and casual reasoning. Stronger intrinsic connectivities between specific areas of the brain were correlated with greater resilience and self-regulation capacity. These results suggest the neural underpinnings that may allow conservatives to manage the psychological stress and achieve greater life satisfaction. This study provides neuroscientific evidence for the different responses of liberals and conservatives to politically relevant social issues. Okay, so let's come back to that in a second. In the realm of psychology, 5 personality traits known as the Big Five have been extensively studied by researchers over the decades and continue to be the most widely accepted theory of personality today. Taking a look at how our brain structure translates into behavior, the Big Five personality traits are openness to experience, which refers to one's level of creativity, curiosity, and receptiveness to new ideas and experiences. Conscientiousness is about how organized, dependable, and disciplined a person is. Extroversion measures the extent to which a person is outgoing, sociable, and assertive. Agreeableness gauges a person's level of compassion, cooperativeness, and likability. Neuroticism, or emotional stability, assesses a person's tendency towards anxiety, moodiness, and overall emotional stability. So how do these factor into our political party partisanship? According to a study titled Gerber et al., personality, and political attitudes. They prove that 4 of the 5 personality traits influence ideology. The only exception is extroversion, which they expect to influence political participation, but not ideology. This chart represents the results of their study. Participants were measured on 2 metrics: effects of our economic ideology, which is free market versus interventionalist, as well as on our social ideology, pro-choice, pro-equality versus pro-life, pro-tradition. For those who were higher on conscientiousness, they leaned right on economic and social ideologies. For those who were higher on openness to experience, they leaned left on both economic and social ideologies. For those who were higher on agreeableness, they leaned left on economic policies, like wanting to help the financially disadvantaged, but leaned right on social policies, like the desire to maintain social harmony and traditional communal relationships. For those who had scored high on emotional stability, they leaned right on economic and social ideologies. Additionally, those who have higher income leaned right on economic ideologies, but not on social ideologies. And those who had more education scored higher on social ideologies only. So how does this shake out in the real world? If you're a conscientious person, meaning that you are organized, dependable, and disciplined, or you score higher on emotional stability, which is a person's tendency towards anxiety, moodiness, or overall emotional stability, then you're more likely to be a Republican in the US, Conservative or People's Party in Canada, and Conservative or UKIP in the UK. If you're higher on openness, meaning that you're more creative and receptive to new ideas and experiences, you're more likely to vote Democrat in the US, Liberal or NDP in Canada, or Liberal Democrat or Labour Party in the UK. There are free tests online that you can take to assess your own Big 5 personality traits and see if they align with your political ideologies. I'll link to one in the description below. So which is better? Is it better to be higher on conscientiousness and emotional stability, or to be high on openness? Remember that openness is a proxy for creativity, and we need that too. The answer is we need all types of personalities, and none is better than the other. Problems occur when one group feel like their views are not being considered within a nation's decision-making process. This is the beauty of democracy. You may not agree with your neighbor's opinion, but you have to listen to it. When we muzzle our neighbors, we muzzle democracy. Think about that.